Yes, today from the design of compression members second chapter, we are going to know about the behavior of the compression members. How the compression members will behave under the loading or without loading. We'll see now. Okay. So this is our topic behavior of compression members. Earlier, yesterday's class, we have gone through the introduction of compression members. What is the difference between column and a strut? Yes. Next, what are the different forms of compression members? We have learned this one. That is, we have come across the simple sections, rolled steel sections, and built-up sections. When we go for simple sections and when we go for the use of built-up sections, we have seen in the previous class. Now today we'll see how the compression member will behave under the loading conditions. Okay. So see here, axial compression members with hot rolled and built up sections. Means rolled steel sections are built up. Built up means what? For our convenience or for our usage, we are making some alterations as I said you. For that, they may fail by flexural buckling. Okay, this is one type of failure where torsional and flexure both will be having it. Okay, even though a column is simple structure, the interaction between the responses and characters of the material means material properties will change the column behavior, its cross section may change its behavior, and the method of fabrication, how it has been fabricated, whether it has been welded or bolted or riveted. Okay, next one, the imperfections. As I said you, we consider it as a axially loaded column, but due to its length or whatever it may be loading condition, the loading may go eccentrically, and the imperfections may be due to fabrication problems may occur or some other geometrical factors. Means it may not be a prismatic. Prismatic means what? Throughout the length the sizes will be same, that is a prismatic. It may not be same. And the finally, as you already learned about the columns and struts in your thing, what strength of materials and theory of structures, there you have known the end conditions. Here also you will be having such end conditions because of this also a compression member. There we have dealt in trails, and in case of your RCC also you are going to study about the columns. There also will be having the end conditions. So what are the general end conditions are? Both ends fixed, one end fixed, one end hinged, both ends hinged, one end fixed, one end free. These are the higher to lower load carrying capacity as per load carrying capacity. Okay, now you are supposed to design the column in such a way that it should be, column should be most complex member in the structural in the structure, whole structure, because whatever the load coming, that load will be distributed to the underlying foundation through columns only. Okay, not through walls or anything. Okay, next, the strength of the column depends upon the following parameters. Means one is its material properties. As you already learned the material properties in your engineering mechanics, right? What will be the material properties? Those stress strain relationships, elasticity, plasticity. Okay, next, Young's modulus of elasticity, modulus of rigidity. All these are nothing but the material properties of any member, any material. So here we are dealing with steel material. Okay, next, as I said you, shape of the cross section is also one of the factor where the strength of the column depends. Means shape means area, its cross sectional area, its geometry properties, and bending axis. Where major axis, minor axis will be there. Generally, for a rectangular column, you will be having what? Major axis and a minor axis. So it depends upon the shape of the cross section also. And as I said you, It depends upon the length of the column also. Okay, length of the column also it will be depending. Next, end support conditions, whether it may be a pinned and restrained end conditions with or without sway. Means one end fixed, other end free, it will be, means it is a sway condition. Next is manufacturing method, whether it may be a hot rolled or welded or any other member which is resulting in differential residual stress parameters. Means without loading also some of the stresses will be developed inside the member of a column member. How? Suppose if the column is made up of due to welding, how it will be done? Due to some, we are going to create some metallurgical bonds using some temperature, some temperature. Because of that, because the member may get some internal stresses may develop in the inside the member. Those are nothing but residual stress parameters. Okay. Next, what includes under imperfections? The material not being isotropic and homogeneous. Homogeneous means the material throughout the length of the column, the material property may not be same. The material property may not be same, and the material may not be made up of same material throughout the length. Okay. Next, geometric variations of the column. As I said you, the column from the bottom to the top, it should be of same shape, same length, same width. That we call as a prismatic member. Okay. Next, due to eccentricity of loading, as I said you will be having major axis and minor axis. At that intersection point, the load is to be transferred through the uh, member. If the load is transferring exactly through the centroid of the section, then it is axially loaded column. If it is not so, it may leads to eccentricity of the load, that is eccentric columns. There you will be having two things developed, that is uniaxial and biaxial movements will be developed due to eccentricity of the loading. Okay. Next, out of the above, the dominant factor that affect the strength of the column are initial imperfection, residual stresses. So these are the many things. In that, initial imperfection and residual stresses are the major which are predominant in the, which are affecting the strength of the column. Means, as I said you, imperfection may not, may be because of the three criteria, and residual stresses means while fabricating it may develop. Okay. Next, see, dominant factors that affect the strength of the column. What is happening here? Deformation, that is buckling may occur. Because of this being eccentricity, the movement has been developed. This shaded portion is nothing but what? Plastic zone. And see, these are some of the practical deformations which we can't see, through directly, but stresses will be developed like this. Okay. Just for example, no need to go worried about these figures. Up to diploma standard, it is much more. So this is the residual stresses. As I said you, these are the, this is a web portion, this is a flange portions. Okay. So this may be the variation of stresses that may develop. Now, here, see here, gross cross sectional area is assumed to be effective in resisting to the applied loads. Total area of the member is assumed to be effective in resisting the applied loads. Aditya, any problem?
సార్ మీ దగ్గర ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది సార్, ఇంటర్నెట్ కనెక్షన్ ఆగిపోతుంది మధ్యలో మధ్యలో.
తర్వాత కంటిన్యూ అవుతుంది కదా?
అవును సార్.
సరే, ఏం చేద్దాం, ఇక్కడ మన నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది, విల్ కంటిన్యూ.
ఓకే సార్.
Again, I will upload the same video, do not worry. In case of bolts, for making the connection, connecting the column with bolts, we will be making holes, right? We will be making holes. That holes made in the member will be replaced with the bolts, will be assumed that it will be taking the load. See, in case of bolts used to connect the column, the action of bolts is assumed such that they will replace the material removed for holes. Means whatever the material removed from the holes made in the column, that will be replaced by bolts. Okay, which will be taking the gross cross section, taking the load. But while designing, we ignore the bolt holes made in the member. Okay, the compression members comprised of thin plates also experience local buckling. So, as I said you, suppose if I am taking a I section whose flange thickness or web thickness is much thinner, in that cases also local buckling may occur. Buckling may occur. What is the, we will see now, local buckling. Okay. Next, what are the possible failures modes of a axially loaded columns are? That is local buckling, squashing, next to overall flexural buckling and flexural torsional buckling. These are the things that may expect in a axially loaded columns. Okay. In addition to the above failure modes, a compound members, failure of component may occur if the joints between the members are sparsely spaced. Means what? Rolled steel section. Other than rolled steel section, we are going for built up section. Those are nothing but called as a compound members. In that compound member, failure may not be a whole member, but a single element or any joints may also leads to failure of the member column. Okay, so but IS 800 2007 specifies to prevent such type of failures. Okay, now see here, I just explain you regarding the failure patterns, why this occurs. Local buckling failure, as I said you, it is a failure occurs when a flange or web portion is having thin elements. See, it is the buckling of one or more individual plate elements. Example, a flange or web with no or overall deflection in the direction normal to the applied load. Means suppose axial load is applied, a member may deflect like this. That is buckling. That is called as a buckling. So, this failure mode may be prevented by selecting a suitable width to thickness ratio of component plates. Means you have to ensure that the thickness is perfect. That is width to thickness ratio should be chosen such that you can avoid local buckling failure. Okay. Next, alternatively, for slender plates, design strength may be reduced. Means FCD values like that. What is FCD value will come across in the next class. Next, squashing. Now, what is this squashing? It occurs when length relatively small and its component plate parts are prevented from lateral buckling. Means compared to its other elements, if the length is small, this squashing may occur. Okay. The column is set to attain its full strength or squashed load by this one. Means short column. Example, which type of column will fail means the squashing failure will occur mostly in case of short columns. Okay. Next, overall flexural buckling. Now, overall means what? In the previous cases, either a flange portion or web portion may get failure, but here in this mode, failure of the member means complete member may occur due to excessive deflection in the plane of a weaker principal plane. Means weaker principal plane means you will be having a major axis, major principal axis and minor principal axis. In that, the weaker principal axis will get more deflected, thus results in the overall flexural failure. Next, an increase in the column results the column resisting less loads progressively. Means as the length of the column increases, its load carrying capacity gets on decreasing progressively. Okay. So the design of most of the compression members is controlled by this mode of failure only. Means the design depends upon its mode of failure, what type of failure it is going to happen, whether local buckling is happening or squashing or flexural buckling or flexural torsional buckling. Based upon that one only, we are going to design the compression member. And last one is torsional and flexural torsional buckling. See, all these two, we have a list of possible failures where the explanation for this one is not there in your syllabus, because this is not that much easy to learn about the torsional flexural bucklings, which is beyond the syllabus. Okay. Now, a combination of flexure and twisting is called as a flexure torsional buckling. Now, flexure means what? Bending. What do you mean by twisting? Suppose if you are washing your clothes, after that, while you will be squeezing it, while squeezing it, whatever the thing developed there, that is nothing but a twisting. Squeezing is nothing but what? You are twisting it. It is called as what? Flexural torsional buckling. Okay. Next, torsional buckling failure occurs by twisting above the shear center in the longitudinal axis. As I said to you, the cloth like this will be twisting in this direction. In this direction, you will be going to twisting. That is nothing but a torsional buckling failure. Okay. This is beyond the scope of diploma level syllabus. Means just our thing is to know what are the different types of failures that may occur. Means you have to just list out it. You have to just list out it. Okay. So this is pattern. So this is a bending. Okay. Column loading and it's maybe bending. Whereas this one twisting may occur. Twisting may occur in between like this. If you can see this one. This folded plate twists under axial load like that. Okay. That is torsional buckling. Okay. Next, this is regarding the behavior and different types of failures of an axially loaded column that may expect possible chances of failure, because what is the purpose of knowing this one is, while designing the column compression member, you are supposed to know this, how it will behave and what are the possibilities of failures. Based upon that only design will be done. Okay. So what we have learned today is how the behavior of the compression members is there and what are the possible failure modes of this one. Okay. Just this list is enough for your understanding purpose. I have explained you local buckling means what, squashing means what is this, everything. Okay. And just an increase in length of the column results the column resisting. What happens? Less loads. It will take less loads. As the length of the column increases, the load carrying capacity decreases. Okay. Next, when the length of column is relatively small and its component plate elements are prevented from local buckling, then the strength attained by column is nothing but called as squash loading. Squash loading. We are preventing it. Okay. Next, a combination of flexural twisting is called as what? Flexural torsional buckling. Okay. So you may state the different possible failure modes of compression members. Instead of state, they may ask list for 1 mark. For 1 mark in your examination. Next, explain briefly about the 4 possible modes of failures of compression members. You have to explain. That is, local buckling means what? Squashing means what? Like that. Okay. I hope you understood this class. If anyone who have not joined the class at this time, you may search in the our YouTube channel. Thank you.